This lovely horse is named Code Name Chance, so we're calling him Chance, and he's a 15 three-hand 5-year-old thoroughbred gelding by Hopertunity. And this horse I just happened to come across as I was browsing through Canner, and he was at Delaware Park, and he's a 5-year-old. He's only had one start, and it was just a few weeks ago. It was on June 6th. He finished very non-competitively, and so his racing career ended after one start. And I reached out to his connections who told me that he's just absolutely lovely to be around, super friendly, kind horse, and that he's incredibly easy and wonderful to ride. And I just love the way he looked. I mean, the horse is just put together super uphill with a great neck. So I snatched him up, and I'm so, so glad that I did because he is a dreamboat to ride. So you'll see that. So this is his first post track ride. And when the video started, and still here, as you can see, because he's coming above a little bit, we're having communications, we're chatting about the contact and what that means. I lunged him yesterday to get a feel for him. I always do that with everybody. And he was just so light. He was just round in the Hermspringer duo from the weight of the lunge line, basically. So today I'm riding him in the Hermspringer duo, which is definitely the right bit for him because he's just so light in his mouth. And so you can see here he's starting to connect the dots and click into place. And when he does, it is just like smooth and wonderful and got all the good feelings that you want when you're riding a horse. And you'll see that he gets a little distracted in this corner a bit because there's an Amish crew pouring concrete behind our house here. So every time we come around that corner, it comes back into view. And so that's what he's looking at. But I thought, that's literally the only thing I can say that he did that I could pick at. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this was an absolutely unbelievably good first ride. And his brain is fantastic. He's extremely quiet, takes quite a bit of leg. Once you get him going and you get him in front of your leg, it's very pleasant, but I will definitely be riding him with some little spurs the next time. He is super well mannered, just very professional about understanding his job and no silliness at the gate, no silliness at all, actually. Just a lovely workman-like attitude, very quiet, very chill. God, when he puts it all together and he takes those steps there, he just looks like $1,000,000. Yeah, and that is so lovely. I was so pleased with him. It's a really fun ride. Yeah, and here he really got it. At first they just give you a step or two at a time, and then it's so fun to feel when they click in and then they're just sort of steady. So I would say that his connections were perfectly correct in everything they told me about him. He has great feet, which is good because after we did our left canter, he stepped out of his right front, I believe it was. So the foot was fine, and the footing in the ring is really soft right now. We've had a bunch of rain, and he has great feet. So it's not like, I'm worried about him on crumbly feet. His feet look excellent. So we did a really quick stint to the right. So that's why, if you're wondering why there's so much less time spent going to the right, it's because he had lost his right front shoe. So I was just trying to make it really short so that just because I didn't want to make him sore, which I do not believe I did. And he was super good. So it all happened in about 3 minutes, I think, to the right, which is unbelievable. What a good boy. So his canter is really balanced, really lovely and rhythmic to ride. We're having the same talk here, a little conversation about connecting and meeting me at the end of the rain with the contact. He's super soft in his mouth. He's very much trying to answer the questions. So you'll see, he'll engage and come through for a step or two. And then about here, he looks like he's starting to like click into place and hold it for a bit longer at a time. There, that's quite nice right there. Good steps. Come around the corner, we got to look at the Amish guys pouring concrete. And then he steps out of his shoe. So then we take a walk break. So the horse is obviously super sound because he's missing his right front here. And he really got it to the right. We picked up the trot. He was like, yes, ma'am, soft, forward, smooth, really easy horse. And this is why I put him in the duo, because you'll see here, so now he's experimenting with getting a little bit low. And I'm fine with stretch. That's totally fine and encouraged. But of course, I don't want him to get behind the vertical. So I'm glad I have the soft duo in his mouth here. And that's quite nice there. He's really in a good rhythm now. He does a better transition to the right. And I don't think that's because he's better to the right. I think it's just because obviously he's progressed as the ride has gone on. He actually is extremely even. It would be hard to say that he has one side that's stronger than the other. Really good through here. Quite steady in the contact. A little bit of sitting here at the end. Yeah, that was a wrap. It certainly is easy when they're so rideable and so relaxed, and they make great shape really easily. So here's a little bit of walking, and then there's about a minute of him on the cross ties at the end.